Hello, here we are again, and we're going to use some dead reckoning again to do this challenge. Now, in this challenge, I can't just go straight, I actually have to turn a couple times probably to get around to the half moon. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use dead reckoning, the easiest way to control this to make this work. So, first thing is I'm going to go to my actuators, DC motor, and reverse my left motor. Um, and this is because of how we mount them. They would go like this, and then when you turn them, they're actually going opposite. This, we're going to tell the computer to be like, switch everything I tell the left motor to do so I can ignore that problem. All right. The next thing I'm going to do, very simple. I'm going to go to DC motor, and I got two, so I'm going to dual, a little bit of a shortcut. And I'm going to just have it go for a moment. And I always like to check as I go. All right, that's great, but take a look what's happening. It's totally wigging out on me here. So next, I need to actually tell it to stop, right? Because it's just going constantly. So I'm going to go to my DC motor, dual, and tell it to stop. Let's see what happens. Now, it might have moved, but it was imperceptible because the computer is so fast. It went, "Brrr." It said, set it to one, set it to zero, but it's over. So I have to actually pause the program so it can actually move forward and make it sleep. So go to linear op mode. I'm going to make it sleep. Now I'm not going very far, so I'm going to say maybe 100 milliseconds. That's 1/10 of a second. Let's see. That's pretty good. Now I want it to turn a little bit to the right. And so the way I'm going to do that, there's several ways you can do it, but I am going to go back to my motors, and I'm going to tell one motor to go forward and the other one to go backwards. So left is going to go forward, right's going to go backwards, so that you start to get a spin, all right? Because if one foot's going forward, the other foot's going backwards, you're going to spin in a circle. We're going to use that to turn. And what I'm missing here is I need to tell it to sleep for a second. Where is it at? And let's see. Now that turn is going to be very short. It's not even a full 90 degrees. So I'm going to say like maybe 75 milliseconds. And then I need to set it to zero. Now I'm going to right click this and duplicate it because it can be nice and lazy. Now let's see what happens here. Pretty good. That might have even been too much. Let's make it 50 milliseconds. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to make it go forward again, which, same thing as always. Set it to 1. Make it sleep for a moment. Now you can see it's starting to get a little bit longer. This is where dead reckoning gets a little annoying. But there's some other tricks around that eventually we will get to. Dual, and then we set to 0. So now I want it to go straight again, but only for a little bit. We'll say maybe at 150. Now, by the way, I'm kind of doing guess and check on how many seconds I want to pause the program to let it go forward. So let's see how it goes. So it goes forward, turns, and then, all right, that's pretty good. Now I need to turn again. All right, and guess what? It's probably about the same as this one. So watch what I do. I'm going to start duplicating now. Since I'm turning, one's going to go forward, one's going to go. I'm going to duplicate my sleep. This is kind of just a shortcut. And I'm going to duplicate my stopping. All right, so here it is. It's getting to be a lot of code. Let's see what happens now. Turn, turn. Not bad. Now I just need to go straight and then turn. So I've explained how to do it now. So you can tell it's going straight right here. Then it turns using these 3. Then it goes forward again. And then it turns again. This is a very tight turn, so it's a lot of these little adjustments. There's other ways to do this, but this is kind of the easiest way for me to explain. And remember, there's always this pattern. Set the power, sleep the program so it doesn't rip through it so fast it doesn't get to anything, then set it to 0. Take a look at what happens if I leave out setting it to 0. You're like, well, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Well, it's actually that worked pretty good, but I went straight into something else. But if you take out the zeros, it just goes forever. It's like go, go, and like now we're just spinning out forever because I never stopped the motors. I hope this helps. This is how to go forward, is at the beginning here, and then we go straight. Let me quickly fix this code so that it's not janky looking. And so you can pause it if you need to get part of it. Now this is not done yet. Forward, turn, forward, and then forward a little bit. Actually, it was forward, turn, forward, turn. And it's a very tight amount. It's so short that it seems very fast. But now we're ready. I just have it go